One of the things I sometimes dislike about reviewing a game is that I'm not given as much time as I'd like with it. Not that I don't get to finish it, just that I'm not allowed to play at my own pace. But with developer Double Fine's Trenched, I just couldn't help myself. Within 2 days, I'd completely blasted through the campaign, grinding stages over and over again to max out my level and collect that oh so precious loot. I'm not ashamed to say it, I love this game.
Where it came from, nobody knew. Farnsworth and I were the only survivors. But after the broadcast, we were not the same.
Trenched takes place in a bizarro world, where 1940s soldiers pilot giant anthropomorphic machines called trenches in an effort to fight a madman and his army of constructs. The gameplay is really well done, but what makes Trenched more than just another tower defense or shooter title is its well-developed atmosphere. The campaign story isn't that important to the levels themselves, but the writing is every bit as witty as I've come to expect from Double Fine. Between levels, you return to a hub world on top of an aircraft carrier. Here you can inspect and customize your trench, choose your level, and invite friends to join you in your hub before taking to the field. The setting is just really well done, perfectly capturing the feeling of the alternate mid-20th century. More importantly, the hub world just functions well, seamlessly bringing in other players and letting you see just how each tweak affects your mech's appearance. It's really well done. Part third-person shooter, part tower defense, Trenched is an awesome mix. Sometimes you're defending one position, other times you're defending multiple, but the goal is always the same. Deploy turrets and use the guns on your mech to blast the holy hell out of anything you see. Collecting the scrap enemies drop when they die allows you to deploy additional turrets, which look great as they fall from the sky. I just wish there was a way to destroy them after they're deployed, since they can't be placed too close together. Depending on how you play, Trenched can be played more as a shooter or more tactical. If you want to play it like a shooter, pick a mech chassis that allows you to take an array of firepower into combat, supplementing your combat weaknesses with emplacements. If you're more the sit back and watch type, you can take an engineer chassis with a few weapon slots and a bunch of emplacements, creating a network of turrets to hit your foes. It makes for a lot of replayability, as you can play levels aggressively one time or strategically later. A big part of the fun in Trenched is figuring out the right mech for the level at hand. Once you've figured out your playstyle, you have to decide what armaments suit the enemies ahead. Sometimes it's fun to bring a mech outfitted with a ridiculous 6 shotguns, while other times I felt like a badass when I'd managed to bring a mech that could fight at long range, short range, and everything in between. Even with levels that largely boil down to the same objective, it doesn't get old thanks to the wonderful mix of enemies to fight. Trenched always keeps you on your toes when you're playing solo. Multiplayer is also a lot of fun, as replaying levels with others allows players to specialize their mechs in ways that play off one another's strengths. It's best with one other person though, as 4 players makes it a bit too easy. A difficulty select would have made Trenched that much better.
Hurry up and reload! Come on!
Trenched is a pretty short game, but that doesn't really bother me. It's got fantastic gameplay, a lot of character, and a loot system that makes it downright addictive. I could nitpick about small things that bother me with it, but all in all, these flaws would pale in comparison to the fun I'm having blasting away with my mechanized machine of death. For more on Trenched, go to IGN.com.